In the heart of New York City in 1939, a small publication house named Timely Comics gave birth to what we now know as Marvel. In the midst of the Great Depression, when the world was grappling with uncertainty, a beacon of hope and inspiration emerged from the pages of comic books. This was a time when the world needed heroes, and in the bustling, vibrant city of New York, Timely Comics answered that call. The early days of Timely Comics were humble, to say the least. Yet it was from this modest beginning that some of the most iconic characters in comic book history were born. The very first issue of Marvel Comics, as it was then known, introduced the world to the Human Torch. This android with the ability to control fire captured the imagination of readers and set the stage for a new era of storytelling. Soon after, the underwater prince, the Submariner, made his debut. These early characters, with their unique abilities and complex personalities, laid the foundation for the rich tapestry of heroes and villains that would come to define the Marvel Universe. But it was in 1941, with the world on the brink of war, that Marvel unveiled a character who would become a symbol of hope and resilience for generations to come. Captain America, with his iconic shield and unwavering sense of justice, was more than just a character. He was a reflection of the times, a beacon of hope in a world consumed by conflict. These early years were a time of exploration and experimentation, as Marvel began to shape its identity. Each new character, each new story, added a new piece to the puzzle. It was a time of growth, of discovery, and of laying the groundwork for an empire that would span decades. From these humble beginnings, Marvel started to build its universe, one character at a time. And as we delve deeper into this rich history, we'll see just how far Marvel has come, from a small publication house in New York to a global phenomenon. But that's a story for another time. For now, let's marvel at the humble beginnings of an empire. Like any epic journey, Marvel's path was not always smooth. In the mid-20th century, Marvel found itself navigating a sea of challenges. The 1950s and 60s were particularly tumultuous times. The legislative hammer of the Comics Code Authority, a regulatory body formed in response to societal concerns about the content of comic books, descended upon the industry. They imposed a stringent set of restrictions designed to sanitize the narrative landscape. This led to a significant curtailment of creative freedom, forcing Marvel to rethink its storytelling strategies. But the challenges didn't stop there. Marvel was not only grappling with creative constraints, but with financial instability as well. The economic pressures of the time were relentless, threatening to snuff out the creative flame that was Marvel Comics. The company teetered on the brink of bankruptcy more than once, fighting to keep the lights on and the artists drawing. The impact of these struggles was palpable. Superhero comics, once the lifeblood of the company, fell into a period of decline. The larger-than-life figures that had previously dominated the pages of Marvel's publications were no longer as popular or profitable. In an effort to adapt and survive, Marvel began to shift its focus towards other genres. Horror, Western, and romance comics began to fill the void left by the superheroes, providing a new narrative direction for the company. This era was a test of Marvel's resilience and adaptability. It was a period of trial and error, of experimentation and exploration. Marvel was forced to redefine itself, to find new ways of engaging its audience and telling its stories. It was a time of struggle, yes, but also of innovation and evolution. Yet, despite these setbacks, Marvel never lost its spark, its hope, its will to create. Even in the face of adversity, the company held steadfast to its mission of crafting captivating narratives and unforgettable characters. It was these trials that ultimately shaped Marvel into the global phenomenon it is today. Then came the 1960s, a decade that would forever change the face of comic books. As the 60s dawned, a new wave of creativity washed over the Marvel Universe, giving birth to a revolutionary approach to storytelling known as the Marvel Method. This wasn't just a process, it was a philosophy. It encouraged a unique synergy between artists and writers, fostering a vibrant, collaborative environment where ideas were free to intermingle and evolve. The Marvel Method was less about rigid scripts and more about fostering a dynamic exchange of ideas. It was a departure from tradition, a leap of faith into a world of boundless creativity. The writers would provide a basic storyline, and the artists then had the freedom to interpret and expand upon it before the dialogue was finally added. This method sparked a creative revolution, producing some of the most iconic characters in comic book history. Enter Spider-Man, the X-Men, and the Avengers. These were not just characters, they were reflections of the human condition. Spider-Man, the embodiment of the trials and tribulations of adolescence. The X-Men, a metaphor for the civil rights movement and societal prejudice. The Avengers, a symbol of unity and shared strength in the face of adversity. These characters were more than just figures in spandex battling larger-than-life villains. They were mirrors held up to society, reflecting the very real struggles, triumphs, and complexities of the time. They were relatable, they were flawed, and they were human. This was Marvel's genius. The ability to weave social commentary into tales of superhuman feats. Marvel Comics were no longer just about escapism, they had become a platform for dialogue and reflection. By infusing their narratives with real-world issues, Marvel bridged the gap between fantasy and reality, making their stories resonate on a deeply personal level with their readers. Marvel had now become more than a comic book company, it had become a mirror to society, reflecting its hopes, fears, and dreams. Fast forward to the 21st century, and Marvel has transformed into a global phenomenon. No longer confined to the pages of comic books, Marvel began to expand its horizons, reaching out to a wider audience through various mediums. It started off with animated TV series where our beloved superheroes came to life, their dynamic movements and vibrant colors captivating audiences of all ages. These animated series were the first step for Marvel in transcending the boundaries of comic books. Yet, Marvel didn't stop there. The company ventured into the realm of live action, and this was where the magic truly began. With advances in technology and special effects, Marvel's characters were no longer just drawings on a page or animations on a screen, they were flesh and blood, living and breathing in a world that felt as real as our own. From the streets of New York with Spider-Man to the far-off galaxies with the Guardians of the Galaxy, Marvel transported us to new worlds, making us believe in the extraordinary. But perhaps the most significant leap for Marvel was the establishment of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This was not just a series of movies, it was an interconnected web of stories, each one contributing to a larger, overarching narrative. The Marvel Cinematic Universe, or MCU as it is affectionately known, brought together a host of characters, from the iconic Iron Man and Captain America to the lesser-known but equally loved Ant-Man and Doctor Strange. Through the MCU, Marvel was able to reach a global audience, bringing its stories and characters to every corner of the world. Marvel's transformation from a comic book company to a global phenomenon is a testament to the power of storytelling. It shows that no matter the medium, a compelling story with unforgettable characters can captivate audiences and leave a lasting impact. With its compelling stories and unforgettable characters, Marvel had now conquered the world. Today, Marvel stands as a testament to the power of imagination and creativity. More than just a comic book publisher, Marvel has transformed into a cultural powerhouse that has left an indelible mark on popular culture. Marvel's influence extends beyond the comic book realm and has permeated every corner of our culture. From clothing and toys to movies and television series, Marvel's characters and stories have become a part of our daily lives. It's hard to imagine a world without the iconic Spider-Man swinging through the cityscape, or the invincible Iron Man flying across our movie screens. But what truly distinguishes Marvel from other comic book publishers is its commitment to diversity and representation. From its early days, Marvel has been unafraid to challenge the status quo, presenting characters of different races, genders, and backgrounds. The X-Men, for example, were not just a group of superpowered individuals but a metaphor for the struggles of marginalized communities. Black Panther, with its predominantly black cast and African setting, shattered box office records and challenged Hollywood's notions about diversity in film. Marvel's commitment to diversity extends to its creative teams as well. Writers and artists from all walks of life have been given a platform to tell their stories, resulting in a rich tapestry of narratives that reflect the world we live in. The legacy of Marvel is not just about superheroes and epic battles, it's about telling stories that matter. Stories that reflect our society and inspire us to be better. It's about showing us that anyone, regardless of their race, gender, or background, can be a hero. Marvel's journey from a small comic book publisher to a global phenomenon shows us that with creativity and perseverance, the possibilities are endless. As we come to the end of this journey, we see that Marvel's story is a testament to the power of imagination and creativity. It's a legacy that has inspired millions around the world, leaving an indelible mark on our culture and our lives. We thank you for accompanying us on this journey, for being part of this exploration into the Marvel Universe. We hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with your friends and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content. We love hearing from you, so feel free to drop a comment below. Tell us about your favorite Marvel character or moment and why it resonates with you. As we continue to dive into the fascinating worlds of pop culture, remember that like Marvel, we all have the power to create, to change, and to inspire. Stay tuned for more exciting journeys and stories. Until then, Excelsior!